got the sauce overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most.
Artlist.io.
Watching me to take no rings or toes to the goat, yeah. Body be dripping and sandy. Pat on my nose with that fancy. Money on me, I got plenty. Hundreds, 50s, and 20s. Stay fat, lot of them. Rag, house by the lake, bought that. Ops to the brakes, draw back. Paddock on Maurice, I'm here
Music
with the pictures. They gon' be the
licensing
VIP,
reimagined.
get a pic with me, I'm a star. Brand new keys to the car. I'm the boss, they get in the czar. Got them so high, so addicted. Telling me I'm the only queen of his heart. Yes, I let you co-star. Gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the sauce overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me to take no razor toes to the goat, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the sauce overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me to take no razor toes to the goat, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma be the best. You can bet I got the recipe. Mastermind creator of this high vibe energy. Only thing
Music
I know
licensing
you do is build a
reimagined.
legacy. So quit testing me. Lot of commas in the bank, I'm a provider. Tell the amateurs saying they lane, ain't no outsider. Bought a mansion in LA, right next.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Talks That Heal. Today, we're outside. We're at the range, about to do some shooting, relax the mind. I'm a big advocate on finding out what your triggers are, what stresses you out. That way you could figure out your own way how to attack them, how to de-stress, how to calm your mind, calm your spirit. I always talk about how I love to work out when I'm stressed. But this is the second favorite thing that I love to do. Come out to the range, shoot, relax, take my time. It's something therapeutic about firing that shot, releasing that trigger. And I guess it's the sound also, and every time you hear it go bang, it shocks something within you. You never really get too used to gunfire, regardless of how long you've been shooting. But I've been training with these weapons for 7 years now. So I'm not an expert, but I got some training, So I have an idea of what I'm doing. But before I get started, I didn't have my coffee yet. It's still morning time here in California. So I'm about to get me a little cup of joe, home brewed, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. And gotta use the cup, you know what I mean? Talks that heal. It's all about the mental, man. You gotta have a brand, you gotta have something marketable. Sometimes you just wing it, and sometimes you just do the best you can. But welcome to the podcast, everybody. Toast of the day. Oh, delicious. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream, nothing. I love it. Alright, now, we're going to do a couple of drill shooting, shoot while you're moving, somewhat tactical shooting. I'm going to wear the body armor today. It's like a level 3. Body armor. This is a camel pack. In here I got cuffs, I got flex cuffs, I got wipes, I got stuff for first aid necessities. And here I have my water bladder. And as you can see, that black funnel that goes to the front. That's the one I drink from. Alright. Just gotta stay hydrated out here too. Just because it's nice and cold don't mean you don't need to hydrate. You don't just hydrate in the summer. So the range we're going to be shooting from today is about 300 yards out. Not about, it is 300 yards. Let me see if I can show you guys the distance.
Music licensing reimagined.
So we're going to take our time with the rifle, precision shooting. We're going to use the laser on the rifle. We make every single shot count. We're not rushing. It's not a competition. And for the handguns, we're gonna walk down range because nobody else is shooting today. It's just me on this range. So I'm gonna walk down range to about 20. I'm gonna start at the 20 yard and move down to the 7 yard for the handgun, and then come back to the top. So before I take my first shot, I'm gonna stand in this square right here. Shake off the jitters and go through the fundamentals: target, stance, movement. Again, stance, got my target, stance is right, go for my weapon, maintain my eye on my target, get my weapon out, marry my two hands together, punch out, see if you do it a third time. Target, stance. Alright, now I got that out of the way. I can walk down range, start making some shots.
Artlist.io.
So right now I'm walking down range. I'm gonna start at the 20 yard line, and then we're gonna move down to the 7. So the shooting plan for right now from the 20 yard line is still shots, I guess, from the 20 yard line. You gotta take precise shots. If you have 20 yards to shoot, you wanna make sure you line your target up. You don't just want to throw rounds down range and not be able to account for where those rounds are going to end up. And as I move closer, I'm going to start taking more like precise shots where I'm aiming for the head, for the body, and that's when I'm going to start doing the movement shooting. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 up, 2 down. So we'll take it from there like that. And regardless of how long you've been shooting, you don't ever want to get careless. Take your time, be careful, control your hands, control your weapons, control your barrel, control your muzzle. Don't get careless, don't get cocky. It's good to have fun with it, but you gotta be responsible with it, because firearms are not to play with, you know what I mean?
If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most.
Go! Alright, now that we did the handgun, we're back to the platform at the top. We're gonna go for the rifle. I remember when I was in the academy, I had an instructor that I used to always say, you always practice like you plan to fight. If you never intend to wear your body armor, then never practice with it. But if you intend to wear it at any time, you always got to practice with it, because you don't want it to be foreign. That one time you get into a shooting, you're like, this thing is in my way. I can't get my gun right. So, you practice like you're playing a fight. So I'm going to keep this on because it's the same exact way I carry it out. The only thing is I have some more stuff I add to the pocket, But we're going to take some shots with the body armor, see if we position the rifle right, even with the body armor on, transition from strong to weak, and we'll take it from there. You know what I mean? Let's get that lid cover off. Lasers right, nice and pinpoint. In the daytime, I like my laser to be like pinpoint, and in the night I brighten it up even more, because when it's dark out, you want as much light on what you intend to aim. But in the daytime, you see the target. The laser is really just a guide, get you to it. And if it's too bright, it'll blind you in the daytime. At least for me, that's how I've experienced it. So, all right, let's take some shots downrange. Well, first we're gonna practice our stance, right? All right, let's get this sling on. He's slanging. Carry my rifle nice and tight. It's not wiggling everywhere. It's not dangling down at my knees. High and tight is how I like it, because the minute I move my hand to the buttstock, I'm ready. So, and this way too, if I gotta run, really all I gotta do is secure it a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm good to go. So I could move with that just like that. Alright, so got the rifle nice and tight, high and tight. Now we're gonna take some aim, practice our stance before we go and start taking shots, right? So if I need to, I could release the sling to make it looser, but this is usually good for me. So I'll just try it out again, see, make sure nothing changed, you know what I mean? So take aim. Position is good. Side alignment is good. I think we're good to go. Alright, let's fire some rounds. Ooh, I gotta load some mags. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, mags are loaded up. Well, I only did 2. I did 2 full mags, but we're only gonna shoot 3 rounds at a time. Every 3 rounds I'm gonna reassess. I just want to dump rounds down range. I want to make sure I'm hitting my target. I'm gonna shoot from the standing, from the kneeling, and prone. I'm gonna get all the way down to the ground. You never know where the gunfight is gonna take you. You never know where you're gonna be, and it's good to practice, because you never know what situation you'll end up in, but you can never plan where things happen in life, So we practice just to sharpen our skills. It's not to say you know exactly when and how things are going to happen. You'll always be ready, and there's no such thing. We practice because we want to sharpen our skills, and that's why I always come to the range, because for me, 1, it's therapeutic, and 2, I always want to sharpen my skills, because I'm out there all the time, and you never know when it's going to be that day. And you always want to be ready. All right. Nice and tight. Give it a little snug. Is it charged? Now it's charged. Is the safety on? Safety's on. So keep the safety on until we're ready to press that trigger, right? And once we are ready, release, shoot, back on safety. All right, let's go. I say we take 3 rounds, and I can't show you the target and me at the same time, so try to listen and see if you hear the sound of the round hitting that metal target downrange. I think you'll hear it kind of like a bing. When you hear that bang, that means I hit. If you don't hear it, I must have missed. I'm not perfect. This is why we practice. All right, let's go. Listen up for the bang. Is that a jackrabbit? Oh shit. I didn't catch it. It was hopping all over here, fucking around. Alright. Yeah, back to the shooting. Hey, we had a little fun. A little jackrabbit came around the range. It was hopping around. Alright. So now I'm gonna shoot from the kneeling. Listen up for that bang. Now I'm gonna go all the way down to the ground. All right, let's go see how we did.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. I-O.
Watching me to take no razor close to the goal, yeah. Body be dripping and sandy. Pat on my nose with that fancy. Money on me, I got plenty. Hundreds, 50s, and 20s. Stage set, lot of them. Rag, house by the lake. Bought that, off to the break, draw back. Paddock on my wrist, someone hit 'em with
Music
a picture.
licensing
They gon' be the
reimagined.
VIP, pick with me, I'm a star. Brand new keys to the car. I'm the boss and the king and the czar. Got me so high, so addicted. Telling me I'm the only queen of his heart. Guess I let you co-star. I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. You said pay to see a show. Got the sauce overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me to take no razor close to the goal, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. You said pay to
Artlist
see a
I.O.
show. Got the sauce overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me to take no razor close to the goal, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma be the best. You can bet I got the recipe. Mastermind, creator of this high vibe energy. Only thing
Music
I know you
licensing
do is build a
reimagined.
legacy. So quit testing me. Lot of commas in the bank.
So today at the range, we shot the Glock 19. With the streamlight on. We shot the Glock 47. Also with the streamlight on. And we shot the AR-15. Modified by yours truly. So now we're gonna break it down a little bit. Whew, I always love coming out here to the range. I have my reasons, you know. For me, I put it like this. First time I had to use my gun in the line of duty, it was something else, man. Before that day, I had only fired my gun at, you know, yearly, or what is it? We used to, no, not yearly. Yeah, yearly qualifications. You know, every year we go to the gun range and we qualify for our weapons with the department. And that one day I went to work. It was just a beautiful sunny afternoon. Went to the gym, had a good workout, went to work, put on my uniform. I was on a crime suppression team back then, so I wasn't really wearing a uniform. It was kind of like a modified blue jeans, black sweatshirt. So it's kind of like the way I am now. And I had the vest on. It wasn't this one, it was the regular PD issued vest. And as soon as I left the station, a call came in for a pedestrian robbery. And they gave this description of the subject. It was a tall, black male. God damn it. Why we always do this to each other, man? Tall, skinny, black male. And he was carrying a backpack and a fanny pack. So he robbed somebody at gunpoint. And the advice is direction of travel. I was leaving the station and my sergeant on the crime suppression team came on the radio and said, hey, every available unit, head over there now. So, okay, I'm heading over there. And as I'm on my way, another robbery came up. So he robbed two people on the same street. So it was like same strip, 2 blocks down, he robbed the second person at gunpoint. All right, now I'm stepping on it, got the lights going, everything. I was the first to arrive on scene, and from the description, you can't miss him. You know, there's not too many 7-footers, skinny black male with a backpack and a fanny pack walking around. That was just too much for a coincidence, right? So I pull over, I got out the car, and I made sure he noticed me, and he knew I was PD. And I told him, hey, stop walking, man. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. And mind you, the whole time he's walking, ignoring me with his body bladed like this. So all I can see is his left side, and the right side with the right hand, I can't see anything. So I keep telling him, hey man, stop walking, let me see your hands. So, and he's refused to show me his hands and stop. And he ducked behind, well, I had already had my gun out. As soon as I got out the car, I got my gun out, because the call was for armed robbery. You ain't gonna deal with an armed subject and your gun is still in the holster. So I had my gun out, and I'm giving him orders, he's ignoring me. And mind you, we walked a good 15, 20 feet. Nah, it was more than that. It was more like 30 to 40 feet. We walked a good 30 to 40 feet. And he ducked behind a vehicle, and I guess he was taking cover, right? So that lets you know right there. Once he ducks behind a vehicle, he's taking cover. He's about to let some rounds go. And there was a big tree on the sidewalk, right? And so I used the tree as my cover, and I kept giving him orders to come from behind the car. And sure enough, he came from behind the car, punched out. So as soon as I saw the hand coming out, I didn't even wait for the sound. I didn't wait to see the flash. Well, yeah, I could have seen the flash because it was around 6 in the evening. I could have seen the flash. I just saw the hand coming out, and then my gun was already out, but I had it on low profile. As soon as I saw the hand movement, I just punched out and let one go. In the first round, because he was blading his body, let's say this is the trunk of the vehicle, right? He was blading his body at the trunk of the vehicle. So really you can't see him, but you could see the movement of him going around the car. I remember it was a white Toyota 4Runner. No, a white Toyota Route 4. It was a Toyota Route 4, white in color. So he punched his arm out. I fired the first round. It hit the trunk, the angle of the trunk, right where he was bleeding his body. And I guess that realization, like, oh, this guy's not playing. He might really shoot me. He dropped the weapon, put his hands up, and at that time, a couple of units were arriving because I could see the lights and I heard the sirens. So I didn't rush him, because right now he put his gun down. I got the advantage. I just held him at gunpoint, like, don't touch it, don't reach for it, stay right there. And the other units came, and they assisted, got him in custody. And as we walking him into the patrol car, he's like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to point that gun at you. I'm so sorry. Dude, you could have lost your fucking life in the blink of an eye. For what? You know, and he robbed 2 people on the same strip. He didn't get, what, $60? So you about to lose your life for $60? So, but going back to my point where I was saying why I love coming to the range, it's because you never know when that's gonna happen. And I've never been one to just wait for the mandatory qualification for the department for me to go to the range, because before I joined the police department, I had never fired a gun before, so it was foreign to me. And I actually struggled the very first time at the academy to qualify, man. And but I passed, and ever since then I've been going religiously, because I realized how difficult it was to make that one shot, you know. And so I made it my mission to always stay on top of my skills. And when the day came when I actually had to use my gun, I wasn't shaking, I didn't freeze, I wasn't scared. And I just went to work, you know, because it's like, this is what we've been going over and over in our head, you know, and why we train, and this is what we signed up for. This is why we took the job, right? So when the time came, I went to my weapon. I did what I had to do. Thank God I didn't hit him and he didn't die, because that would have been another stress. Because it may look easy in the movies, but in real life, that shit is not easy, man. Taking somebody else's life. Even though I didn't take his life, it still was tough for me, because now for the next couple of days, the next 3 days, I would go to work and I wouldn't show it, because you don't want everybody knowing that you have an issue, or like you're nervous about hitting the streets. But in my head, I was like, God damn, I hope I don't have to use my gun today. Damn, I hope I don't have to hurt somebody today. And it kept playing over in my head. What if I killed that guy? What would have happened? Where would I be? Because you know how it is. They want you to use the tools at your disposal, but when you actually do, everyone come down on you, from the public to the department. Everybody come down on you as if you did something wrong. So it was tough, man. Every time I had to hit the streets, I'd be like, I'd say a prayer. I'd watch like YouTube videos on stress relievers and tactical movements and de-escalation. I watched a lot of de-escalation videos, and all of that came together and helped me, man. So it took me 3 days to get back to normal after that day. And for some people, they never get over it. Taking a life is not easy. Shooting at somebody is not easy. It's easy when you're at a gun range, because it's like, it's steel targets, paper targets. There's no reaction. There's no emotional connection. But when it's an actual person, it's not the same. You know what I mean? We train for whatever life throws at us, but are we ever really ready for what life throws at us? So like I said, this is one of my ways of de-stressing, letting loose, relaxing my body, relaxing my mind, and prepping myself for the everyday struggle. You never know what life is gonna throw at you, so you always stay ready. You train your body, you train your mind, you train your emotions, your spirit, by doing breathing techniques. So when you get in these stressful situations, you don't black out. You don't freeze. Breathing is one of the things you have to practice too, because once the heart rate starts going and you get flustered and you lose control of your limbs, your hands, your train of thought, even your vision. You get that tunnel vision and you only see one thing, or what's actually happening. Completely miss it. But yeah, so this is why we're here today at the range. This is the talk that heals. I hope you guys are really paying attention to yourselves, your bodies, and your life. Understanding the things that stress you out, the things that trigger you, and finding ways to de-stress, finding ways to release. And for me, I have working out, I have the range, I have my kids. They're a major part in my life in helping me deal with stress, because they always bring a smile to my face, and they're always amazing. They're kids. They show you love and make you understand why you do the things that you do, why you fight so hard, why you struggle, why you deal with the daily struggles of life. So again, find out what it is that stresses you out, find out what it is that triggers you. Pay attention to yourself, your surrounding, your body, your loved ones. Even if it's not for yourself, even if it's for a loved one, you pay attention to them, you see what they're dealing with, how they react to certain things. And you may pick up on a trigger, you may pick up on a stressor, and you help them deal with it. Maybe they don't even realize it, so you help them understand and deal with it. So the holidays are here, man. People are still hurting. Just the other day, a friend of mine, I was talking to, a great friend of mine, one of my best friends, and was telling me how a family member took his own life. Man. suicide is very much a big deal. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, whether society want to acknowledge it or not, suicide is a very big deal, and people are very scared to come forward. You know, they're very afraid to admit what they're dealing with. So if you know anybody that's struggling, these are the holidays when it's toughest for people dealing with depression, anxiety, and all types of mental illness. So if you know anybody that's struggling, reach out to them, you know, and bring them out and invite them out for a meal, you know, talk to them, try to get them away from there every day, you know, and not to say you could change their life, but for that day, you may make a difference. And that day, if they were thinking about it, they didn't do it. You know what I mean? So one day at a time. It's just like battling an addiction, one day at a time. So help each other, help yourselves. God bless. Enjoy the holidays. Love y'all.
The recipe, mastermind creator of this high vibe energy. Only thing
Music
I'm loyal to
licensing
is my
reimagined.
legacy. So quit testing me. Lot of commas in the bank, I'm a provider. Tell the amateurs saying they lane, ain't no outsider. Bought a mansion in LA, right next to Mariah. Write a song, get filthy paid, price going high. Yeah, I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the South overflow. Yeah, if I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me, they take notes.
Artlist.io.
Thank you, my good man.
Music licensing reimagined.